Alright guys, last part of radicals is, remember I talked about radicals before, and the key word or the key deal with the radicals is you cannot have any radical on the bottom. No good. So we have this process, it's called rationalizing the denominator. Okay? So if you ever hear that word, rationalizing the denominator, that's basically what we're doing. So you'll notice on this example here, I cannot get rid of the radical 5. Now remember, let's go back to the previous video. You're always going to try to simplify it first, okay? So let's say we simplified, we had a problem, we started out, and we got down to 1 over radical 5, okay? No good, so I'm going to have to rationalize it. And all that is I'm going to take whatever the radical is on the bottom and multiply it by itself. Now remember, dealing with fractions, whatever I do to the bottom, I still must do to the top. That's just a rule of fractions, okay? So the top is going to become 1 radical 5 over 5 times 5 would be radical 25, which will make that a perfect square. So let's clean it up. We take out the 25, it becomes 5. And then, again, you don't need the 1 if you didn't want to put it. We don't have a radical on the bottom. It's okay to have it on the top. And you're done. And a common mistake is these cannot be simplified here, guys, because these, one's under the radical, one is not. So that's 5, and that is like, I don't know, 2 point something, right? So you couldn't simplify that. So we're done. All right. Let's take a look at some of the examples I have here, and then I'll have you do the last couple on your own. You could check them out, see how you did. All right, number 5 here, we have a radical 3 on the bottom, so we're going to rationalize it by multiplying the bottom and the top by radical 3. So the top becomes 4 radical 3. The bottom becomes radical 9. Again, this process will always give you a perfect square on the bottom. That's what we're looking for. So my final answer, the bottom, I'm all right. Don't care what's on the top. The only thing you may have to do is simplify this, but 4 and 3, outside numbers, in this case, cannot be simplified. Done, and you can leave it improper. I would actually prefer that way. Don't make it a mixed number. All right, number 6, 5 and 2. I'd see if I could simplify it first, but no, I can't. 2 does not go into 5. So I'm going to have to go to my rationalization. All right, so I'm going to multiply the bottom and the top by radical 2, because that's how I'm going to get rid of the bottom. All right, so now I have, what's radical 5 times radical 2? Here, well, let's do that up here. So radical 5 times radical 2 is radical 10, right? Radical 2 times radical 2 is radical 4. And if you haven't caught on already, that's always going to come out and be whatever number you multiply it by, right? So you have radical 10 on the top. Square root of 4 is 2. Again, one's outside, one's inside, so we can't simplify it. 10 can't be broken down, so you're done. Okay? Let's look at 2 more, and then you'll be done. All right, I'm going to look at my outside and inside. Now, I notice something I can do on the top. What's the square root of 4? Square root of 4 is 2, right? So a 2 would come outside of there. And now my numerator is going to be a 4. And then I have 5 root 5. Now, I'm not done because I can't do anything with the bottom unless I multiply the top and the bottom by radical 5, right? So, the numerator would be 4 radical 5. And this is going to be 5 radical 25. What comes out of the 25, guys, is a 5, right? So a 5 comes out, multiplied by the outside number. So you're going to get 25 over 4 radical 5. Are we done? I think so. 4 and 25 can't be reduced, right? We're done. All right. The last one. If you'll notice, the outside and the inside can be simplified first. So I always like to do that first to see if maybe I don't have to rationalize. Sometimes I'll do it and I'll still have to rationalize. Sometimes I will. All right. 2 goes into 4 2 times, right? Now you'll notice that 5 and 15 are under the radicals, so we're just going to simplify them. So 5 goes into both, right? So that would be the square root of 1, which would just be 1. And the bottom is going to be, well, remember we got rid of the 2, right? Because 2 went into 4. So the bottom is just going to be the square root of 5, right? Or 3, I'm sorry, 3. Let's go back. Whoop. Caught my mistake. Because 5 went into 15 3 times. So again, I divided the top and the bottom by 5, right? All right. Now I have to rationalize it. So I'm just going to write 2 because square root of 1 is 1. I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by radical 3, right? So my numerator is going to be 2 radical 3. This would be 9, or we can just write 3, right? Hopefully we're catching on that every time we rationalize it, just comes out as a number, right? All right, guys, I'm done with this. I want you to try 9, 10, 11, and 12. And you can check your answers with the key and see how you did.